you used to be able to buy T-shirts that said, "I lost my shoes in Vrindavan," or "I lost my heart in Vrindavan." There should be one, "I lost my husband in Vrindavan." Best place to lose him. In Los Angeles in 1971, it must have been, I remember Prabhupada saying that all my disciples should go to India, become enlivened, and come back and preach. And so then I thought, wow, when will that day come? And finally in 1975, managed to get a ticket and arrived in Mayapur with no luggage for 3 days. And it was, of course, very enlivening, but like many other God sisters, we got sick. And Prabhupada was very firm, and he said, "You're not working hard enough. You must work very hard." So I took that to my heart, and I found something to scrub or clean. I forget what it was, but next thing we know, we went to Hyderabad. And then it was a 52-hour train ride on a seat that had just wooden slats. I remember that very well. Luckily, we got to hear Prabhupada's pastimes the whole way. But we were a sight. Everyone would jump out at these train stations, and they thought foreign people were arrived on the planet because they'd never seen white people. But it was really ecstatic. And then in Hyderabad, the thing that I remember the most was that Achyutananda was on stage, and he was so bold. He said, he was, preaching, and then he said, "You all should donate. I want all you women to send up your gold bangles." And some of the ladies actually did. They were giving their golden bangles. I went, wow, he's so bold. I would never do anything like that. But because of that long train ride, my husband got a ticket for us to go fly to Delhi and walk onto the plane, and Prabhupada's sitting right there. It was like really amazing. And when we arrived in Vrindavan, it was so quiet. It was in the middle of the night, and you could just hear Radhe, Radhe, a few little people walking on the streets. It was very nice. Spent one frightening night in Fogal Ashram with I don't know what kind of creatures were in there. And then, so the next day we got to clean the guest house, clean the rooms. They were just still under construction, but at least we got to stay there. And then came the parade, and the parade was wonderful with all the elephants. But the road got smaller and smaller, and it got darker and darker. And before you know it, people were falling in those open gutters that now they've covered, the black water. People were falling in there, and I thought, oh my gosh, please don't let me fall in there. And so it was exciting being with Prabhupada. Prabhupada was, our leader. But I was at the age of really 5 years old, because I'd only been in the movement 5 years, and it was a new place, a new experience, and so much to learn from Srila Prabhupada. And we're so naive and didn't really know the culture, how to behave. So it was really, really a lesson to be learned. And then came the day of the festival, and I positioned myself against a pillar. So the pillar was in the back of me, near Krishna Balaram, and I thought, because everyone's going to push forward, and then I'm going to be squished to death. So I put myself against the pillar, and everyone moved forward, and I'm going, ha, see? And then all of a sudden, everyone moved back, and all I had was a cement against me, and I thought, this is it, I'm done. And I saw a little lady drop down, and she crawled out, and I thought, oh, that's maybe what I should do. And then all of a sudden, I saw someone go like this, come here, come here, come here. And I go, and so I went. And they said, we need someone to roll puris for the dignitaries that are coming. And I thought, oh, you just picked the best puri roller in the movement. I can roll puris so fast that I used to out-roll the rolling machines of the posters in L.A. I was so fast. And so I go down there, and see some Indian ladies there, and they hand me a rolling pin that looked like the size of a pencil. Have you ever tried those things? They just go like this, and it rolls around the whole thing, and it looks like a croissant or something like that. And I'm going, how do you do this? And they're going, one hand. And I'm sitting there trying to unroll my puri. I thought, oh, here's another lesson to learn. And then, so then they were actually testing the food to make sure that we weren't poisoning the dignitaries, which was really frightening to me that they thought we would do such a thing. Anyway, the festival, of course, was ecstatic, and that smile with Prabhupada turning around, it reminded me at the Family Dog Auditorium in 1970 when Prabhupada stood there and the wonderful hippies were all over the place, 10,000 of them, really in their finest clothes. And he looked around, and he just saw the situation, just like at the temple here, and he says, so this is such a nice process. You can dance and dance and dance, and when you get tired of dancing, then you can take prasadam. And when you get tired of taking prasadam, then you can go dance. He says, this is such an easy, nice process. And he was satisfied, because here he was, delivering all these crazy people. And in the same way, he was delivering us at this Krishna Balaram Mandir, making it a wonderful place for us to stay. And then came the time when they asked for devotees to stay. And I thought, I don't think so. And my husband says, oh yeah, I think we should stay. I said, you're a temple president. You just can't stay here, you know. And I think Radharani had picked him out and said, okay, well, let me figure out how to get rid of you, me. And so he put me in New Raman Reti, and then he's able to stay here for his lifetime. But after that, we were walking around under the tamala tree, and we saw Srila Prabhupada sitting there. And there was a bunch of sannyasis and Indian gentlemen, and we didn't really have anything to do. It was after the installation. And so a couple of God sisters and I say, well, let's just sit down, love a matra, just 1 second of association with the spiritual master, you can gain so much. So we just sat down, and we behind Prabhupada couldn't see us. We didn't think he could see us. And then all of a sudden we get this little, some gentleman came over and said, Srila Prabhupada wants to know why aren't doing something practical. And so I go, oh, not again, And so this was something that I took to heart, that you should work very hard for Srila Prabhupada, always find something to do with them, and that's the way to get the mercy. Thank you.